Hi, Aries, or anyone watching for Aries. Welcome to Divine Resolution Tarot. This reading is taking a look at your love life from now until the 1st of July. So let's get into it. For your energy, you have the Lovers in the reverse for yourself. What's coming towards you, 10 of Wands reversed, how it'll affect you is the Ace of Pentacles. So it looks like you're seeing things a lot clearer than perhaps you did in the past with this Moon in the reverse at the bottom of your deck. It seems like you've been doing a lot of dreaming about what would really make you happy in your life. There's some contemplation about where you want to put down your roots. It's possible that you are currently in a relationship, but for whatever reason, it looks like perhaps you're not really committed to where you are. What I'm seeing with these cards here is that there was something that you really wanted to have like a second go round, perhaps somebody from your past. You were single for a while and then it looks like you gave up on that. I think it's because the person either didn't come after you or you could have reached out to the person and they weren't into it. So it looks like you tried to move on with your life and you may have found yourself in like a long-term or a very committed relationship. It seems like you've been in this for a while. I would say at least 2 years, maybe 4 at the most. But what I'm seeing here is there's this like yearning to be somewhere else, or like an energy of daydreaming about what life would have been like had you been able to reconcile with whoever this person is, or had things just like taken a whole different route, right? There's a lot of like thinking, what if this person gave me a second chance? Would I uproot my life and do like something completely different, even though I built this situation over here? You're reflecting, or you have been reflecting a lot on like your happiness and confronting your fears. And so it's almost like you've gotten into this space of now or never, or I have to free myself from where I'm at so that I can go after what really makes me happy or what I desire, right? With you starting the spread and the Lovers in the reverse, you're in a commitment, or there's somebody who thinks they're in a commitment with you. It's something along those lines, but your heart is not in it, right? It's like you have one foot out the door and you're ready to go because the person that you're dealing with, from what I'm seeing here, you're not in love with that person. Like you might have a fondness for them, you might have a love for them, but the passion is not there. You don't feel like that's like your soulmate. And so it seems to me that either you've stopped putting all of your effort into this situation to the point that the person that you're currently dealing with now is starting to pick up on maybe your resistance to the situation, or, you know, like kind of a lack of effort. It's almost like you put your walls up and you went from looking at this person as a partner to now kind of pushing them away, viewing them as an enemy, perhaps even like saying things where you're encouraging them to break up with you or to date other people. I'm seeing that there's going to be a confession coming soon. This could be a few things. This could be you confessing to your current partner that you're not as into it as you thought you were or you once were. Or this could be you confessing to your current partner, like, I still have feelings for someone else. Or it could be you confessing to this previous person, like, hey, this is where I'm at. I've tried to move on. This just isn't working for me. Do you feel the same way, right? Now, what this will create for you in the next 2 weeks or so is this Ace of Pentacles. So that's a really nice energy, right? Because it looks like there's an opportunity to build something very solid. Could be that you have this discussion with this previous person and you get some clarity around maybe why things didn't work in the past. Because with this Moon coming out in the reverse, it's like anything that you were wondering about, could we reconcile? Do they still care? Was I the only one who had feelings for them? It looks like that's going to get figured out through whatever this 10 of Wands in the reverse is, right? For some of you, you're choosing to leave the relationship you're in, and then you're going back to this previous person that I'm seeing here and just being like, look, they weren't you. I was afraid. I'm not afraid anymore, right? So it looks like there's going to be an opportunity to have something that's not just like passion, because I think that was the problem with the Lovers, was that you and this previous person were like very independent of one another. Perhaps you both had commitment issues, or you just never like solidified the situation because it was such a lack of like understanding of where the two of you stood, right? And so maybe you just did the slow fade, or this person did the slow fade. Maybe there was never really any closure here, and that's a big part of why you're having this difficulty, right? And so at the very least, you will be receiving closure about how this previous person feels, to the point that you're going to be able to do something new, right? Whether that's, okay, now I can start a new situation and put my whole heart in it because I know that this is a no, or hey, now I can go back and perhaps try to work on something with this person that has been in my heart space for so long, right? Now, when I'm looking at how this will affect you, you got the Magician in the reverse. You do have the Fool in the reverse for your opportunity, and for your obstacle, Five of Pentacles, something to consider, Queen of Swords. So whatever you're doing, you want to make sure that you're working on the delivery, right? Because there's something here where perhaps if you've been gone from whoever this is for a long time, and then suddenly you're just like, oh my God, I love you. What's up? I'm coming over. You could be met with like a very confused message or silence, simply because what I'm picking up on is that it's almost like you're sitting in this energy of like, it's not going to work no matter what I do, even though I really want this. I'd risk it all for this. And then you keep going back and forth. And then it's like you finally just jump into it without taking the time to really figure out the best way to go about it, if that makes sense, right? Because for you, you've been thinking about this for a really long time. You may want to ascertain whether or not this person has been thinking about you as well, with your obstacle being the Five of Pentacles. It looks like this person views you as somebody who left them. So they might be looking at you as like, okay, it didn't work where you went, so now you're back. Or the grass wasn't greener and what you invested all this time into didn't work, and now here you are, right? So that's something that you may want to consider. Is that I don't know how it went with the two of you, but what I'm seeing is that this person feels like you went off and gave everything that they should have gotten to someone else. So hopefully that'll help you when you're trying to communicate, because that way you can be cognizant of the fact like this wasn't just a slow fade for both of you and you both went off and did something else. This person is coming through as having really like wanted something with you and been waiting for you. And then it looks like they view you as somebody who just kind of moved around and ended up with someone else, and then committing to them and doing the thing. And this person is still like waiting or wondering, not waiting, but to them, they're just like, I don't understand, if we had all this chemistry, why you could have so easily like give everything to someone else, but it seemed like such an issue to give it all to me. I think that your person, the problem here is like, I'm not seeing any cups on board for the next 2 weeks. And so it's almost like the emotion is not really being discussed. It's kind of like, okay, I want something tangible. I want something real. I think that you've been doing so much thinking about this that because that was an issue in the relationship last time, you're kind of jumping the gun, or you will be jumping the gun and just thinking like, okay, this person wanted a commitment. So if I just go in and I'm like, hey, I want you, this is what I'm going to do, blah, blah, it should all work out. There's kind of this energy of feeling like you can pick up where you left off, even though there's been a considerable gap between the last time you were like intimate with this person. It's almost like you paused this, went and did something else, and then felt like you could just push play where you used to be at with this person. And this is kind of cautionary, because what I'm seeing is like, you would have to move slow if you want this to be a thing, because this person's guard is up when it comes to you, right? They're not willing to get out of like their mental and reminding themselves of like how they feel like you left them long enough to remember how much you like meant to them, if that makes sense. Because this person was really hurt by what you did, even if you don't understand or perceive it that way, because you're like, well, they stopped talking to me first or whatever. I get it. But it looks like there's the possibility of you reaching out and getting shut down. you know, and I don't want that to happen to you if this is something that you are passionate about or that you really want. So I would advise you to just be kind of clear about like the timeline. Is it appropriate to show up and bring your pentacle? Because in your mind, that's the only thing that was missing is the commitment. Because I feel like the way that this person is viewing this is that you're starting at ground zero or like -10, whereas you're looking at it like, well, we're almost there. All that's missing is the ring, right? So I'm going to take this over to the extended reading. I'm going to look into your person's energy because I'm really curious what will come of this situation. In the extended reading, I'm going to take a look at how they're feeling about you, how they think you feel about them, and then I'll give you a lot of clarity around the move you want to make. I'm also going to look at what they want from you or the connection, the future actions that they'll take, as well as how this will affect you and the advice. So if you're interested in seeing the extended reading, there is a preview at the end of the video, and the link to purchase it is in the description box below. Hi there, and thank you so much for joining me for our extended Aries reading from now until July 1st. So Aries, I've shuffled your deck, I've pulled your cards. Bottom of your deck, this person has been thinking about you as well. You got some very similar cards. The hard part about this is that they feel like if they show you attention, you have a habit of running. There's an energy here of this person feeling like you view them as always being like the other man or the other woman, that there's somewhere else that you'd rather be. There's an energy of them thinking you look at them like you would never commit to them, but you just want them for like sex or for a good time. And because of this, it's really changed this person.